Good evening, good evening, and welcome to a new edition of Urban Sentinel Live. Yes, my folks, it's Monday night, 8:30. It's time to get it on with another great interview. Tonight, I'm interviewing Corretta Doctor. Uh, this is my boss lady, okay? For you all that don't know, she's the person that pushes me to get this magazine that I have right, and it's because of her that I feel like my magazine is doing great. I mean, she's always making you cross your T's and dot your I's, okay? She will worry you to death, but worry you to death in love, okay? And I enjoy it. I appreciate the push that she gives me and everything. And she has a lot of nuggets when it comes to working in the media arena. And I want you all tonight to gather some of these nuggets, especially if you're interested in going into media, whether it be TV, print, or whatever. Corretta is the person to go to if you need that information. So, Corretta, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Oh, look, hey, I appreciate you being on my little show. You know, I'm not one of them big time clients you got, okay?
You are a big time client, and I
Nah.
appreciate your show.
Oh, thank you. But I do appreciate you having it on here. How long we known each other, Corretta?
Maybe I know it's probably less than 5 years.
Oh, okay. It's been a while. This journey has been a great journey, And like I said again, I really seriously appreciate everything that you do for me and pushing me
Absolutely.
to do the best that I can. And I think I have a great magazine because of you. So I
Well, thank you.
appreciate
And
it.
you do have a great magazine. You don't have to think about it. It's absolutely great. It
Thank
is.
you, thank you. So look, tell me, how did you get started on the journey that you're on now? Okay, tell me about what made you decide you wanted to be a PR person, a business manager, or the whole gamut of things that that you do. The
You know,
hat.
I never really thought so deep about how I became the person that I am today, but I think more than anything, I've always been put in a position to represent people. I was raised by older people. I was adopted by a couple. The woman was in her mid 50s. And so I immediately became that representative to write out the bills and address the envelopes and write the checks. And, I became a representative at that age in my teens. And then I went off into the military where we always had these great responsibilities of representing. And then just being an early mom and early wife, those things early in life put you in a position that you have to make choices and decisions. And you're the face of a lot of things. So eventually, as my career continued, I just fell into a place that I was making money for a lot of people, doing a lot of things. And I figured that at some point I could do it for myself.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, how did you tell me about your first client You had.
And so it's interesting. I was in New Orleans working for a government contractor. And I was so tired and I was listening to some music through the window. And I thought, oh my goodness, when are they going to stop? So I went outside and there was a lady sitting on a corner playing some music. And, we chatted a bit. And I said, man, she's really talented just sitting here playing this music on the sidewalk. It was just shortly after Katrina. You could still see the watermarks on the ceilings. And so she told me her story. And I said, hey, you know what? Let me see if we can figure this out for you. And long story short, about 2 months later, I brought her to Washington, D.C., and she was the first client I ever did a contract with, and I booked her at Blues Alley. And from there, it just grew. And my focus used to be on musicians, jazz bands, jazz musicians. And I left that arena. My business partner, who's my nephew, Maurice, he took over the musicians and I went more into the literary field, working for the government as a government writer. I was a contract negotiator for since 1991. And I knew more about the literary part, the writing, the contracts, entering into deals for media. And so I left the musicians alone and went over to that side, and I've been there ever since.
Good. Now, I think Coretta and I met because I was on a friend of mine. I was on her Facebook page one day, and it was some comment was made. I don't know if Coretta answered the comment or what, but I saw it. So what I did to find out about Coretta, I clicked on a picture. Okay, anytime you want to find out about somebody, just click on the picture, brings up their profile, and I saw her profile, and I had been playing around with the idea of doing something different, in the media world. Cause I've always been in print myself, and so hey, I clicked it on, got the information, hit her up on Facebook, and hey, the rest is history. The
That's
rest
it.
is history and everything. So, how have you built up your clientele, your base, the people that you work with? Because I know you have a lot of clients. Okay. Because your phone is always busy when I call you, so I know you have a lot of clients.
Now you know you have the hotline number. So it's real simple, and it's a lesson that everybody should take. I build relationships before I make deals. I don't go into business with anybody I don't trust, and I give everybody an opportunity, just like I want them to give me. And it all starts from the basic understanding of why we're here. And I started building my friendships from the moment I walked out my parents' house. And I have people that I can go back to 30, 40 years and know that where we left off is where we can pick back up. So the basis of my business is built on strong relationships, healthy friendships, and networking that I do constantly. Everywhere I go, I come back with a friend. I meet someone there that, you can't do business with everybody, but the world that we live in, offering a word of kindness takes you a long way. And that kindness always comes back to me.
Mhm. Now, off the top of your head, how many clients do you think you have right now?
Actively, about, I want to say 47. I can ask my bookkeeper. I bet she knows.
Oh yeah, she most definitely would know. 47 clients. That's great. That is great. That is great.
And I define a client as anyone that's paying me to do
Mhm.
some type of work for them.
Uh-huh.
And I will also add that these days paychecks come in form of collaboration.
Mhm.
So it may not be a dollar assigned to what I'm earning. It may be a collaboration in sort that we're exchanging platforms, which is in my eyes a growth. It's a revenue stream. At some
Mhm.
point, you'll eventually see that. So I will say actively 47, between 47 and 50 to be sure.
Mhm. That's a lot of people that you deal with. Quite
It
a
is.
few, quite a few. Now
It is.
tell me, how have you built your base of celebrities? Because for people that know my magazine, the Urban Sentinel magazine, notice that on my cover every month is a celebrity. So how have you built those relationships with celebrities?
Because I treat people for exactly what they are. They're men and they're women. They just happen to have an association in the entertainment industry that sets them apart from many. I treat everybody the same. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to what can we do in business together. I started that practice a long time ago. Certainly, we give people the accolades and the applaud and the thanks and appreciation for what they do for us when they step in front of those cameras and behind those big mics on those big stages. But look at where the COVID has brought us. We're all sitting down in our homes on the
Mhm.
same type of chairs through the same camera lens, and we're doing the same thing. This is the same person that we would have seen as untouchable and unreachable. Now they're reaching out to us. I can pretty much assure you 5 years from ago, I would probably not be in touch just as much as I am today with some of these celebrities. I'm not going to say that about 90% of them, because as I stated before, the relationships that I have are rooted in friendships. They are rooted in the basic of a relationship. So most of them, I can say, sure, probably, but their publicists and the people that they have in charge of running them would likely have turned their head on a new publication just starting from scratch, owned by an African American woman, owned by a disabled veteran, first time in the publication. They would have turned their nose at it, but instead they're turning in our directions, and they're offering us the opportunity for these collaborations, which makes everybody a winner.
Mm-hmm. You know, not trying to plug my next edition in February, but on the February cover of Urban Central magazine, we'll be featuring Raheem Devon. And I just saw him interviewing the other day. I think it was Thursday or Friday. He was doing an interview on Fox 5 here in DC. And I said, you know, when I looked at that, I got all excited. I said, oh, wait a minute. I said, I'm almost into the big league, you know. I got this guy on the cover of my magazine in a couple of weeks, you know. So that's a good feeling, because you're right, you know. Let me see. I think I'm in my 10th or 11th edition of the magazine as it is. And you're right, you know, they're going to want to know, you know, what's your circulation? What can you do for me and everything, you know. So you're right, you know, we are in a different time frame now, especially with the COVID. So how have you pivoted during the COVID with your business? You know,
so, yeah, it was painful, and it is painful, and I'm sure there's a lot more pain to come, but here's how I'm dealing with it. So this year, and everybody likes to use the turn of the calendar as the start of something new. So I'm going to use it this time. Normally, I just say, you know, hey, my days are my days and my months are my months. But here's where I am today. I have decided that as I go forward, everything I do is going to benefit someone else. I am going to present an opportunity for someone else at every chance I get. And in doing that, you help others see that they should be doing the same thing too. I used to feel that the more I give, the more that I would receive. I'm no longer going to have those expectations, because I have learned that not everyone, especially people who are not familiar with the ins and outs of business, and particularly media business, those people don't always have a great understanding of how it works. So the more I give and the more I teach in my behavior and the patterns that I set, I'm hoping that others will learn and that they will emulate those things and do it in their own worlds, so that everybody in my circle becomes on one accord. It's easy to do business with people that understand business. The pivot was hard. It was extremely hard because two reasons: the travel and then the speaking. I could no longer travel, and it impacted my business greatly. I just had to stop. We could not go anywhere. And we had 5 international trips planned. Answering the questions, looking for the refunds, trying to make cancellations, trying to save people's money. It became so overwhelming that I just decided that even when we can travel again, I will no longer plan those types of business trips. I gave many people many opportunities to take them to places like Copenhagen and Paris and Dubai and Iceland and all of those places. The trips that we have planned, we're going on. But after that, I'm done. The pivot caused me to create this magazine, which is a really great, useful tool for me to still be able to get out that speaking that I can no longer go and do. I can put my voice on these pages, and where I can't go, this magazine goes for me and for all of the people that I include in the magazine. So where I have tried to find a happy medium for people who love to speak, for people who were accustomed to speaking, I give them this space to tell who they are. What is their message to keep them relevant in the market? Because believe me, it's going to come back. And if you drop out of it now, no one's going to remember you. So this publication isn't just for me. It's for everybody who you see in those pages, whether they are a writer, keeping their name in the media, whether they are being featured, keeping them in the media, an advertisement. All of those things are a useful tool. So when you say, man, I haven't had a speaking engagement in 6 months, However, if someone Googles your name, which is what people do when they're hiring a speaker, they will see your relevancy. They will see that you kept up with your brand, you kept up with your industry, that you're still speaking to your followers, fans, and clients. And my magazine and magazines like yours and those of my other clients are helping people to do that.
Mm-hmm. And that's a profound statement. I hadn't thought about it that way, that we're providing opportunity for everyone during this time that we're in. And hopefully going into the fall, things will get much better, where we can start, letting our wings flap a little more than what we are now. And talking about conferences and stuff, for the listeners and for the viewers, I was able to speak at one of Corretta's conferences last year down in Charleston, South Carolina. And it was a great conference, and I was able to make some connections and everything. So, and tell you people, Corretta knows what she's doing when she puts the conference on. It was a great conference, even though it took me all night to get to Charleston, South Carolina from DC because of the plane and everything and cancellation and stuff. But I made it, got there on time.
Yes, you did. Yes.
So tell me about I wouldn't say the best, but give me a story, who you consider as a client, one of your celebrity clients, probably someone that you have developed a great relationship with, that y'all stay in contact on a constant.
Sure. So I would have to say Beverly Broaddus Green is much more than a client to me. Mm-hmm. When I met Miss Beverly, who many people know her as Evangelist Green, she's the mother of Snoop Dogg. When we met, it was great for both of us. Mrs. Green doesn't have a daughter, and I wasn't raised with my mother, my birth mother. So it was a match made in heaven. So we were able to do business while she mentored and mothered. I'll never forget, my greatest opportunity was when we did our photo shoot together in California. And we still use those pictures today. They're timeless. But it was something about having someone with so much knowledge about, first of all, being in the industry. Okay. That was a good mentor. Second of all, just being a woman. And being a mother, she gave a lot of advice. She stands by me. Even to this day, just a couple of years ago, I had a birthday party. She flew in and presented the prayer. And she's just one of those people that you look beyond the business, and you congratulate and you appreciate at the same time everything that she gives without invading her personal space. I have to actually say that she has found a place in my heart that has not only softened me in a lot of ways, because I used to be offended by so many people and things in this industry, but she's taught me how to navigate some of those tough roads. And I would probably say that, not that she's just my favorite, because I love all of the people that I work with, whether they love me back. I am in a position that I entrust my business, my work that I do with a lot of people. And she's one of the people that I can say, and no matter what you ask of her, is within her reach, she's going to give and do it for you. And she's my friend.
Yeah, her story that we did on her in my magazine, a lot of people enjoyed that story, because even though we had a couple of pictures of her with her and Snoop Dogg, the story was about her. Mm-hmm. It was just about her and her life, and and what she's doing. So that was a very special story, because sometimes you get caught up because that person has a celebrity in that family, and you forget about them, the person, and you focus more on the celebrity.
Yes.
That was a great interview that we did with her. Evangelist Beverly. That was a great one, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't know she was an evangelist.
Right.
They didn't know that. So you're working with, how many magazines you working with now?
6.
6. Whew. But we keep you busy, don't we?
Yes. And but here's the thing. Okay. Once you have it right, you have it right. And if you want a busy person, to show you how to do something, you just ask them, because a busy person will find a way to get it done. A lazy person, they're going to waste your time and theirs too. A busy person will always find a way to get something done. It's in our nature. Media is nothing to play with, especially these days, because many eyes rely on what they see come across their computer screens. For me, what's important is to take the message. Forget everything you already know. Let me find a message. Maybe you don't even know your message. Let me find your message and present it in a way that's going to benefit you. I don't need the benefit from your message, but somebody in this world needs it. My job is not to put myself into every story. It's to take the story and present it in a way that will do one or two things. It will create a new person that you don't know, which is networking, and it will create a new stream of revenue if you have something to offer, whether it's a product or a service. It's a matter of taking the opportunity that you're given and use it. Here you have magazines that go all over the world. You get featured in the magazine, and what do? Nothing. You have to use it. If you take the time and say, this is a privilege. There was a time when I was 12 years old to see a person, a Black person or any person in a magazine that I knew, that was a huge deal, and these days it's becoming so commonplace that people are not understanding the depth of what's happening when they get featured in a magazine. They don't take into account that someone sits down and writes that article, then someone edits the article, then some photographer has to create the images, then there's a layout designer that you must pay to lay it out, then there is a printing company that matches specs to print it on paper, and oh, by the way, we use top-notch archival 1200 DPI printable paper, then we have to pay to have them shipped, then we have to get them out to you. So when someone gives you a free opportunity, trust and believe that that's a gift, and don't look down on it. Don't shy down on that, because I can remember when I had to pay $300 for a feature in a magazine that nobody even knew about. So what I offer people as suggestions is, when you get your feature, use your feature. Right. Why waste it? Why? That is the biggest waste ever. Now, here it is. Bobby Brown was on a recent cover. Alicia Brown, not his wife, but Alicia Brown, the superstar managing editor of my magazine, she interviewed him. We talked about it. We didn't do a lot of jumping up and down, because, again, we treat everybody like everybody. Bobby Brown took that post. My little small Instagram community grew in 1 hour from 1,400 people to 1,900 people. Why? Because he gave it some attention. He cared. If someone who doesn't need a lot of attention takes the opportunity to thank you in response for the time and the energy that not only I put in, but my staff put in, why not everybody do that? If I was in a magazine, and I am in a few, I send it out to my friends, my family, my kids, my daughter. I say, read it. Look at what someone took the time to do for me. I don't get that.
And going back on you talking about your collaborations, one of my writers in my magazine, I sent him down to Alicia, okay? Because the writer, texted me and said, do you know of anyone who can help me with my next book? So I knew who her last person was at Coaster. I said, well, I'm not going to send her back to that person, because she's looking for someone else new. So I sent her down to Alicia.
That's right.
And Alicia signed her, so that's another part of collaboration.
And that's what it's all about. It really is.
Yeah, so that's good. So then today, I'm going to do some collaboration with a young lady who has a talent agency in New York City. So when we finished talking, I said, well, how did you find out about me? I said, I'm just curious. I said, you popped up on Instagram, and you sent me a message on Instagram, and she said, I was doing, basically she was doing research, looking for magazines for her talent and stuff, and she came across mine. She saw, and she went through the different issues. Saw I use celebrity covers, and she had some up and coming celebrities, and she wanted to partner with me. So
See?
let me stick my chest out,
Good job. Good
Yeah,
job. But
yeah.
that's
So
visibility.
yeah,
Visibility is key. That's
yeah.
right.
So I said, well, shoot, okay, let me keep pushing, let me keep pushing, let me keep pushing. Now,
Yes.
tell me, today I was on Facebook and I saw
Mhm.
you made post about a new magazine that you're going to be working with. I guess it's going to be number 7 that deals. It's going to be centered around youth. So tell me about that upcoming magazine.
So I can only tell you a little bit, and it's included
Okay.
in that 6.
Mhm.
But it's amazing. It's called Taupe Style. Taupe is a combination of tight and dope. Um, and the client is very excited.
Mhm.
Actually, the client is coming off of a collaboration from a previous cover story that I did. So there it
Mhm.
is again. I can almost always dot the lines back to how something started. The magazine will feature stories about children ages 7 to 17, male and female, that
Mhm.
are doing some impactful things, specifically on social media. Some of these influencers are doing great, great things. We're talking to gamers, designers, children that are excelling in special areas in school. There's just so many different topics that we're going to be covering. But what I like most about this magazine is that it is really going to be a game changer for these youth that are stuck in the house. They haven't been able to get out and do a lot of things. And here they have a brand new platform that's going to give them a lot of visibility and hopefully help them. Some of them will get jobs because they're really great kids that we're talking to. Very educated and talented, and it's amazing what you look for when you look into a special niche. Me, my job is not so much to bring in the talent for the magazine, but it's to direct them in the business side of it.
Mhm. 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 Okay, that's good. That is great. That is great. So you're marching on, marching on.
Yes.
You're on the move. You're on the move. So, what are your future plans? Tell me, where you go, where are you going? How you gonna get there, and maybe
Mhm.
where you want to be 10 years down the road.
So I get to announce right here tonight that we're
Okay.
finally an established LLC. So
Oh.
I have just received my LLC paperwork, and I'm so thrilled about that. I wanted to test it. I wanted to give it 6 months to see if it was something I was going to keep up with. I started this magazine with a 5-year plan. So I guess I'll go ahead with the other 4.5 years. So we are now Communiqué Magazine LLC, and we are a Ohio State registered business. And my next step is to go into an office building here downtown Toledo, Ohio, and I will have a staff of 8 in that office. And that staff will eventually roll up under a media company that I will also be launching, but it will be out of Nevada. So I am doing as much as I can to establish enough work for the people that have been in my corner
Mhm.
from the moment I started this. And some of them are clients, some of them are friends, some of them are family.
Mhm.
And the main thing is that all of them are deserving of an opportunity. I don't force anything on anybody. What I have, I offer it.
Mhm.
If it's there and they need it, I welcome people to be a part of it. One thing about this business is you have to know your role and you have to respect it.
Mhm.
Everything is not for everybody. And this is a hard pivot for all of us. We have to find our way. And what I have done is created a way, not just for me, but for anybody that I can bring along with me.
And that's very true. This is a tough but easy business, and the reason I say that is because it seems like I'm running from one month to another month. I'm already thinking down the road to who's going to be on the cover for December. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and it pushes you. Okay, it pushes
Mm-hmm.
you. And I'm a one man operation. I'm doing everything right now, but prayerfully and hopefully that as the year goes on and with your push, that I'll be to maybe get me one or two people. To help
Yes,
out with the magazine and stuff. Because it can stretch you. Okay,
it
really,
can. It
honestly,
can.
honestly, it can stretch you.
But you know, Reggie, you're doing a great job and you're not by yourself. You feel by yourself when you're sitting there late nights and you're trying to map it out. But let me tell you something. You have a great team of writers. You have a lot of people that are cheering you on. And what you can't do is stop. Even if not one person understands your mission, don't you stop. Because I can assure you, there are plenty of people who see me and will not clap. But it does not stop. You continue on because in the end, you know that you have a great thing that you're doing. You give opportunities for people to be seen. And not only do you give them the opportunity, so many people need it and they come to you. You see what I told you months ago. At some point, you're not going to have to look for anything or anyone. It will come to you. You just gave us that testimony. So when I tell you you're doing a great job, just know and believe that those words are true, because I'm not going to waste my time and I'm certainly not going to allow anyone else to. So when I tell you that you're doing a great job, you are. Look at your covers, look at your interiors, look at your layouts, look at the months ahead. Sure, it gets hard, but one thing about media, once it's done, it's done. And when you feel good about it, then it can only get better.
Amen. Amen. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. You know, I mean, yeah, you know, like I said, for the viewers and the listeners, if you're thinking about getting into the media business, Corretta L. Doctor is the person you really want to talk to.
No, I'm just kidding.
She is so full of nuggets. You know, you see a lot of people on the internet, you know, doing a lot of Facebook lives and charging people $11,000, $12,000, $15,000 to be part of that group. You know, you don't have to go that way. You know, yes, you're gonna have to pay Corretta for her time. You know, but she's not going to be looking for $20,000 for, you know, a class, a 12-week class or something like that. You know, she's going to work with you. You know, and I appreciate her working with me. God knows I appreciate her working with me. You know,
thank you.
Let me say, shake my pocket here. I got some change. I've been playing this lottery. Look, I've been playing this lottery every week. I ain't having
Well, you know, Reggie, I have some tips that I want to give to people who are listening, and they're tips for both sides if I have time, and if I don't, let me know. You know, let's just give them 5 each. So 5 each for people who are looking to get published in the media. I'm gonna give you a second because you need a pen and a paper. If you're looking to get published in the media, there was a time when a writer could say, it's $500, it's $1,000, it's this, is that. If your message is strong, find a publication that fits your message. You want to submit a clear idea about your story. Number 1, be clear, because I don't want to have to figure out what you're trying to tell me, because then I got to figure out how to tell it to other people. So a clear message on what you want to say. Number 2, images. Everything has become visual. We are a visual nation. If we can't take those images and put them into our publications without them looking scrambled, and we don't want them. Number 3, never beg anybody to do anything for you in media. It's too many of us out here. If you have a good story and you know your story is good, submit it, wait for a reply, and move on. Oftentimes, we don't have time to write back, no, not right now. No. Just understand that time in media is very, very little. Just like Reggie said, we think 9 months ahead. So don't give up, don't beg. The next thing, when you're looking, number 4, when you're looking to get published in a magazine, make sure that your story fits the overall theme of what you see happening in that magazine. It goes not, you know, you should be able to figure that out, okay? I don't have to go deep into that one. You just figure it out. And then the last thing is be prepared to do something. You know, be prepared to share your story once you get in there. Be prepared to promote the magazine. Be prepared to tell people about it, because you getting in the magazine is not enough. Getting in it and then promoting it is what's going to make your story worthwhile. No need to be in there and nobody knows about it. Now, the other side, for us who are managing magazines, what you want to look for are stories that are not everywhere. You don't want an article written that people can go to the website and figure out what is the point. And you certainly, number two, do not want to publish images or articles that are derogatory, negative, and bringing down whatever the story may be about. You don't want that in your publication, not in today's world, unless you run a gossip magazine. I mean, I don't manage those. I don't work in them and I don't bother with them, but you don't want that. So be careful. Number three, you want to be careful how you price things. People cannot afford to lose money. So when you charging someone for any aspect of your media, make sure that what you're charging them and the money you're receiving, you're giving them a good return on their investment. Make it clear, okay? Make it very clear what is happening in that exchange. The next thing for those of us that are running magazines is always have a plan B. When your workers are tired, your writers don't feel like writing, your printers give up, you need to have a plan B. For every aspect of your publication, have a plan B. Never, ever have a single point of failure. That is one person doing one job, and then when they stop, the job quits and ends. Don't do it. And then, I don't know what number I'm on. I got 100. But the next point I want to give to us that are running these magazines is have a mentor. Everybody can learn something when it comes to media because it changes so often. I have a mentor and I am doing what I can to help other people. So what I do is I offer business consulting, and I'm business management, and I am PR for a lot of different publications. Know the difference. Know when it's time for you to get help and know when it's time for you to be helped. There is a time for both.
And you make a good point when you were talking about having a mentor. Now, I'm old as dirt, but I don't know everything, okay? And I don't profess to know everything. So I appreciate having my mentor, Corretta Doctor, there with me on this journey, because I can, call her up, bounce stuff off her, and, blow some steam off when I feel like things are slowing up or I'm not getting where I want to get, So you do need to have a mentor to work along with you. But I'm going to tell you, listeners and viewers, working with Corretta is a great thing, okay? Because even though it's 6 magazines, everybody has their own niche with their own magazine. We're all kind of all on the same team. We work together because, her writers have written for my magazine and my writers have written for her magazine, so we do a lot of cross collaborations to get the message out. And that's great to be able to be in an environment like that where we can all support each other.
That's
what
right.
it's all about. Because I tell you, if I had to do this on my own, and if I had to dig up all these articles and stuff and try to call somebody and say, do you know so-and-so, and you think so-and-so will talk to me and everything, hey, I don't think I wouldn't even be doing it, okay? I'd probably go back into the newspaper business, seriously. That's probably what I would do, So it's great, what you're doing. Like I said, you're doing some great things, doing some great
Thank you.
things.
I like it. I do. I like what I do. And I'll tell you, you don't have to, have people always say, oh, you don't have to tell everybody what you know. Why not? I don't care how many people know what I'm doing. I'm the one doing it. It's like, how can you hush my business? I control everything here. And when I can't, I say I can't. And you know that. I'll tell you, no, I can't do it. But the most important thing about business is being about it. Okay. Because my sister Sabrina said to me these words, and I say them to a lot of people all the time. If you don't run your business yourself, somebody else will.
Yeah.
So I've learned how to say no. And if I can't say yes, I want to say yes, I'll say not right now. I have to learn how to pause a little bit, because in this business, people will not always understand when you cannot do something. It's like, well, you have this magazine. Can you? It doesn't work like that. It's not a one-man operation, although it may appear to be. We have to fit into the schedules of our designers and everybody else. And oh, by the way, who are we to dictate other people's schedules? We all have to work as a team. And I like that you recognize my folks, because Alicia and Sadia and all the other writers, Natasha, we all share each other's skills. We are all here to make it together. And in the end, like I said earlier today, they can get on board, they can watch the train pull off, or they can jump on, however it goes. It doesn't stop. And that's the beauty of being a leader. You lead by example. You keep moving. Don't stop.
Well, Corretta, I have really enjoyed talking to you. For the listeners and the viewers, I've been talking to Corretta L. Doctor tonight. She's a fabulous influencer in the media world. If you decide you want to do something as far as trying to get your articles out there, naturally I want you to call me, but also call Corretta, get in contact with her. She has a whole lot of knowledge. Gosh, I can't even begin to tell you how much knowledge she has. And her nuggets have really helped me along this journey. Like I said, I think I'm in my 10th or 11th edition of the magazine. And in each edition, I say, well, December's edition was better than November's edition. Then I say, no, January's edition is better than December's edition. Now I'm saying February's edition will be better than January's edition, but it's all because of her guiding me through the obstacle course of laying out this magazine, getting the articles. And if any of my writers are on here tonight, believe me, I appreciate everything that you do, because without a strong staff of writers that have their own ideas and stories, you wouldn't be successful. You wouldn't be successful. And I'm successful because of my writers, because I'm telling you, the writers I have can lay it down, and they bring it to the table every month with some great articles.
Yes, they do.
So like I said, if you need information and you need those nuggets and you need direction, Corretta is the person to get that direction from. She would not steer you wrong. She'll tell you when you're not doing it right. She'll correct you. She's just like the mother to all of us, okay? She tells us when, look, kids, this is not right. Let's get it right, okay?
Right.
And you need somebody like that, because if you don't have a person like Corretta, you won't be successful. You'll be putting out a product, but the product will stink, okay? That's how it is. So, again, Corretta, I want to thank you for taking out your time to sit down and, talk to the people tonight and let them know, about the business, okay, the media business.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Now, Monday night is the easy night, because, I interview people and we talk about what's going on in their lives and how what they're doing can benefit us. Now, tomorrow night, if you want to get into the politics, I have another show that I host with Cheryl and Tappert. Tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about 4 years of past political pain, okay? Because it's coming to an end. Wednesday at 12:01, we'll be beginning a new journey here in this country. And it's going to be a journey, then it's going to be a relief that everyone's, has been looking for. So if you want the hard stuff, come back tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. For Real World News TV with myself and Sherry Ann Tappert, and we'll be wrapping it up. I was sitting around thinking over the weekend, I don't know what we're going to talk about after tomorrow night. One person we could talk about all the time, he's gone. He's going to be leaving. So we're going to have to pivot our shows and find something to talk about that's going to interest the listener. So again, tomorrow night, come onto Real World News TV live and listen to Sherry Ann and Tappert and myself discuss the issues of the pain that we had to endure over the last 4 years. And again, I want to thank Corretta Doctor for being with us. I want to thank you, the listener and the viewer, for being with us tonight. And we have another great show next Monday night. So same place, same time, 8:30 next Monday night for Urban Central Live. Good night, everyone. Be safe. Wear your mask. Have a blessed week. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye now.